Hi everybody, today I'm going to show everybody how easy it is to actually make beer if you're using an all extract brewing pouch, or you also get cans. So what I've got here is a master pint pale ale, which I'm gonna make, and it when you're new to the hobby, it's very easy, and they basically, what you basically then do is just almost throw everything together. But I'm gonna show you a step by step on what to do and how to actually make a successful first all extract beer. So the first and possibly the most important step in any beer making process is obviously to make sure that your equipment is sterilized. So for an all extract though, it's not a lot of equipment that you actually need. So for the actual brew, everything has almost been done for you. So what you basically just need is obviously a vessel to put in your all extract, and if there's anything else that you do require that you're going to put in there. So what I've basically done is I used about 2 tablespoons of mangrove jack's cold water detergent, and clean the inside with about 5 liters of water, with also swishing that around. And then basically after it's been cleaned, I used this no-rinse sterilizer, which you basically just take 10 milliliters for every 1 liter of water. So I basically poured in water there along with this, and inside I someone put a spoon and a 1 liter jug as well. So someone clean all of that in one go. So yeah, then you just basically need to leave it and make sure that all of the equipment's basically all clean and sterilized for when you start adding ingredients in the next steps. Step 2 of this recipe asks for about 1 kilogram of sugar. So it probably doesn't matter what sugar. I'm using 1 kilogram of brown, light brown sugar, and they say you must basically dissolve it in about 2 to 3 liters of water and basically add to fermenter. So I don't have a jug quite that big, so what I'm just basically going to do is I'm going to do it in a couple of batches where I pour sugar and mix it in this plastic thing, and then literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour that into the fermenter, and I'm going to do that probably about three times or so to get the sugar solution into the fermenter. So I know you can also, what I've used in the past was actually I just used dextrose sugar, which has always worked for me. So this is the first time I'm going to use regular table sugars or brown sugars. So yeah, let's see if it makes a difference. Okay, so after my pale ale extract has now been in the sink for about 15 minutes, and it's on warm water, and my sugar solution is also ready inside the fermenter already. So what I'm now actually just going to do, I'm probably not going to be able to show you because it might be difficult with one hand, but what I'm going to do now is pour all of the extract in here into my fermenter. Idea, you can see obviously how thick the malt extract is, and what I'm basically just doing now is I am pouring it all in there, and then I'll probably just take some warm water. They say, or they suggest, like taking some warm water and like make sure you almost just so you can get all of the malt extract in there. So you can see like it's starting to basically come to an end now, but there's actually still quite a lot of good stuff in there that you can use. So I'll probably just take some more water, put it in there, and basically rinse out the pouch to make sure that I get all of the extract up in there. Cool. Okay, so as you can see here, I've added my malt extract and just stirred it in along with my sugar solution. So yeah, it's as easy as that to do it. But this is obviously now still very concentrated. So the next step will be obviously to take more water and fill it up right up until here, which will be the 23-liter mark. So what I just usually do is I use normal tap water, but today I'm going to use a combination of this normal still water, which I have a 5-liter bottle of, which I also want to make an apple cider with. So I actually need an empty bottle. So I'm going to use that and then just fill it up to 23 liters and then just give it another good stir. Okay, so as you can see here, I've filled my fermenter now up into 23 liters. So you kind of probably not necessary because it should be okay, but I'm just going to give it another good stir to make sure that everything is stirred. And now the important part, of course, is to almost ensure that you get to the right temperature so you can pitch your yeast. So you can see there it's around about 22 degrees, and because you also don't want to leave it out now for too long, because the longer you leave it exposed like this, the longer or the more time it gives all bacteria and stuff to creep in. So what I'm basically going to do now is I'm going to pitch my yeast. Okay, so the last step is, of course, adding, or before closing up at least, is to add your yeast. So I just got this sachet on at the bottom of my malt extract pouch. So what I'm just going to basically do is I am going to pour this on top of my beer. So that's as easy as that. And now what I'll be able to do is obviously my clean lid as well. I'm going to put on my lid as well as my airlock, which I must actually still fill with a little bit of water, but I'll quickly do that now. So something that is also quite important, especially if you want to work out the percentage of alcohol of the beer that you're making, is by taking the specific gravity at the start of the fermenting process, and then also the specific gravity at the end of the fermenting progress. So we're about 3 days in now, and you can see that it's about 1.0 to 8-ish, but it's definitely still bubbling, so you know that it's obviously still fermenting. But what I forgot to make a video of is and share is what the original specific gravity was, which it started off at about 1.039. So it was very much in between 3.8 and 4.0. So I'm just gonna round it off to that. So I will keep on taking my specific gravity until obviously it has stopped fermenting. On the pouch it said it should have a final gravity of about 1.009, which we're still quite a far away, which is still quite a way off. So I will let you know, but everything is looking good and it's fermenting as expected. The degrees are about a little bit colder than I actually expected. But it is about it's now about 7 o'clock in the evening, so it would usually cool down, but it's between 18 and 20. So if it drops further than that, I would consider maybe putting something around it just to heat it up a little bit. But I mean, I don't really see that it has an issue fermenting, so I think the temperature should actually be fine. So yeah, but I will keep you updated as soon as the fermenting process is done and what the final gravity ends up being. Cool, cheers. Okay, hi everybody. So today is bottling day. I am done with the fermenting. It fermented a little bit longer than I expected, for about 16 days, but I am definitely ready to bottle. So the original gravity, as you can see in my little bookie, was 1.040, and there I've been keeping track of my original gravity through the dates, and the final gravity ended up being 1.006/7. So it's very in between those two, which works out to be about 4.4% alcohol, and there you can see is my sugar solution, or my priming sugar solution, just cooling down a little bit, and then I'm going to mix that in with my beer there, and yeah, just give it a nice and gentle stir so that I don't bring in too much oxygen. And yeah, there are my bottles. They are all obviously cleaned out. But what I'm just going to do is I am going to rinse them a little bit in that sink, and then I'm just going to sterilize them with my no rinse sterilizers. So yeah, I will let you know once I'm done with the bottling. Okay everybody, so I have just finished bottling. In total it's about 20 liters. As you can see here, there's a couple of bigger ones there at the back, and then there's a 2 liter, some 660 mils, 750 mils, and the rest are just the normal 440 mils. So there's about 31 of the 440 mils, and then also one that I put away, that was the last little bit that I would almost think that will probably will probably boil over when I open it. So I put that separately. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to put them away and store them until they're ready to drink in about 2 weeks, I would say, but probably be the best tasting at round about, or in a couple of months. Hi everybody. Okay, so it's been about 2 weeks since I've bottled my pale ale, or to be precise, it's just under 2 weeks, about 12 days. So I obviously primed it with some brown sugar, and I just poured had my first one, and I must say it was actually quite nice, and actually a little bit sweet. I think because it was I used brown sugar as priming, it actually turned out quite nicely. So you can see there's quite a little bit of head there, and if I taste it, it has quite a bit of a malty taste, as well as almost like a little bit of a caramel taste. So overall, I must say I was surprised how well it came out. I mean, it was exactly the kind of beer I was looking for. It's sweet. You can taste the malt. You can taste the hops. almost like, I would say, almost a perfect beer for me. Even though it was a malt extract and not my own proper all grain, but I'm gonna get there, and the next brew I make is going to be an all grain, so hopefully that'll be as successful as this one. So yeah, I must say, if I can give a score based on my first taste, and I mean, I usually feel like my all extracts have been best after about 3 to 4 months after being in the bottle, and I must say it's been 12 days and this beer is bloody tasty. So yeah, cheers, and hopefully I've helped some of the guys that's very new to brewing and probably only doing malt extract beers, which is also fine. I mean, that's how I'm starting, and I haven't even done an all grain because I'm totally overthinking it and trying to get all of the right equipment. So hopefully this has showed some of the guys that brewing beer can actually be easy. And yeah, the next video will hopefully be me actually doing an all grain beer. I've got my recipe ready, I've got my equipment ready, so now I actually just have to do the actual brew. So cheers guys, and see you guys soon. Cheers.